Hey, Mikey.
Yo.
Today, I'm gonna blow your fucking mind.
Oh no.
And blow it. That's why I got my blow away glasses. That's not what they're called, but anyway, we're gonna talk about something that many smart people don't even know.
Do you get blown away a lot in those classes?
I get blown a lot. Time cube.
Banana Bistro will unveil what's no God. We're breaking down the walls, revealing their lies. Banana Bistro will never close our eyes. Through the darkness we'll fight, with emotions set free. Unmasking the web, setting the truth on the TV.
Have you ever heard an insane rambling of someone that they call themselves a genius about something that didn't need to be explained?
You
And
know,
when they
I
explain it,
I do videos with you every week, right?
oh yeah, so you're used to this shit. This is Time Cube, and this is somebody trying to explain what that means, Mikey.
Mm.
And let's see if you fucking know anything.
Time cube theory. What's going on, everybody? Caleb here again. Today
Hi,
I'm
Caleb.
making a conspiracy theory video on the time cube theory made by the man Otis Ray, or Otis Eugene Ray, whatever he calls himself. Anyways, this man right here.
He's a fucking
MIT
asshole.
2002.
Now, when I first heard this theory, I literally went, wait, what? Because what he's saying is that the Earth is not a sphere as we know it, it's a cube. And you have 4 parts of every day, and these 4 parts of every day actually lead up to 16 parts of a whole day. So you got midday, sundown, midnight, sun up. As far as the Jesus, Socrates, Clinton, and Einstein going thing, I don't know what that's all about. But
That's
I
good.
think I figured out what he's talking about in the form of the Earth being a cube and what he meant by the 16 times a day, every
Okay.
rotation.
So this is the Earth.
You know, I did a really piss poor explanation just now, so I'm just going to show you the interview done with the man himself.
Okay.
Show, Gene.
Thank you, Martin.
So, Gene, you say that I'm stupid because I believe that when the Earth rotates once, there is only one 24-hour day. But your time cube principle disputes this, no?
Right, it has 4 corners. When it shines at midday, it simultaneously creates a midnight. Where the 2 majors join, it creates the 2 minors of sun up and sundown. And each corner quadrant of Earth rotates to its own separate 24-hour days.
Sorry, maybe I shouldn't be wearing these glasses. Maybe I should be putting a boonie hat on.
Well, the Earth is a sphere, though. It's not a cube.
It's composed of 4 quadrant corners. Each corner, because it rotates in 4 different directions simultaneously, toward midday, midnight, sun up, and sundown. It rotates those directions simultaneously.
So if you had just explained this nonsense to you enough, I will prove that you're dumb.
So these rotate, is what he's saying. As it
No.
goes
Each
like
one of them
this.
has its own separate day.
Gene, how do
Yeah.
you know this? What's your proof, scientifically
Rotates.
speaking?
Well, here's in the cube. You can see it. You can't deny that. I offer any academic institution, any professor, $10,000 to disprove it. They can't disprove it, so they ignore
know
it
what's
and run
real
and
funny?
hide.
You're offering
There's a circle in the middle of that square.
Because it's your time cube.
Why is there a
Mikey.
circle in the middle
It's
of the
time
square?
cube, Mikey. It's the time cube, Mikey.
$10,000 to anyone who can dispute the time cube principle?
Institution or professor,
Not me. If I beat you in a debate right now, you're not going to pay me 10,000?
1,000.
1,000 for me? That's all right. I got to have my own model of the time cube right here. Where'd you get these things? Like Magic Mountain?
Well, they're paperweights. You can buy them. They're just paperweights, but they represent the time cube.
Confused? Well,
Yep.
that's understandable. Let me see if I can decipher what he's saying here.
Okay.
All right. So what my guy Gene is trying to say is where the sun is right now here, okay,
Sun.
you got your midday, your sunrise, your midnight, and your sunset. So what he's trying to say is this section right here is a whole day. So each one of these, that's 2, 3, 4. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then as the sun moves, you can see the times of the day have changed.
Okay. So the sun
Understand?
moves.
Now, the Earth rotates as well.
Okay.
So when you have the Earth rotating and the sun rotating, that's how he gets the simultaneously rotated days and 16 days or 16 what was it exactly? 16 space times is what he said.
Okay.
Gene got a little confused, and for some reason he thinks the Earth is a cube, which even that doesn't make sense because I made it into a square, but it's not even, it's a diamond right now. Okay, this is a cube, okay?
Yeah.
If the Earth is here, and then the sun is rotating around the Earth, which is a cube, that still doesn't make sense. Oh, by the way, he doesn't count the top here. This is the top, or the bottom as part of the cube, because a cube has 6 sides. It says just 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3,
So
4, 5, 6.
So the North and South
Five,
poles apparently
6.
aren't part of Earth. Those are
Okay.
made up too. But yeah, you
That's
got
awesome.
the sun rotating around your cube here. Mm-hmm. And that's what he's saying. So you get your 16 different space times, and yeah, I know it doesn't make any sense.
So hold
Now,
on.
as far as the whole Einstein bill,
So think about this for a second. You know how whenever it switches from day to night, you know how it's a gradual thing, and the sun it gradually goes away.
Mm-hmm.
If the Earth was a square or a cube, it would be day night. It wouldn't be gradually going away. There would be a cutoff point where you wouldn't see.
No, Mikey, this is why I'm wearing the glasses, so you don't see the stain in my eyes. Don't you fucking put your logic into this, okay? Okay. Don't think that your fucking small brain could understand the genius of the time cube.
Yeah.
Human form is a personified pyramid and 4/16 cube divinity. He also had a $1,000 bounty to anyone who could disprove the theory of time cube, though he would be the ultimate judge.
Of course.
This website
You're
acted
wrong.
as a hub with hyperlinks to other timecube.com pages and another of Ray's websites linked at the bottom. The first apparently
Old
relied on
internet.
a diagram as the crux of its argument, but the image has since been lost with only the text archived. The
So
second
sad.
link, TimeCube's simultaneous 4-day creation, hosted a single image, which also has been lost. The third hyperlink, however, took the user to abovegod.com, a website that was approximately equal in size to the core TimeCube website. At the very top were the words, "Christianity is poison forced upon children. Nature's harmonic TimeCube creation reigns supreme. Welcome to the site where TimeCube is above God. God is ignorance." It also appears that Ray had attempted to have his theory published in a newspaper, but had his requests rebuffed. He writes on abovegod.com that, quote, "St. Petersburg Times refuses to inform the public of the time cube that indicts them evil to children." It seems likely that at this time, the website was being discovered by internet users who would link it in their forums, though records of this activity appear to
He
have
has an
largely
Earth
been
link.
lost as the forums where they were shared were deleted.
That's
Ray
awesome.
began to write additions to timecube.com in 1999, expounding further upon his theory with more incomprehensible prose, likely in response to increased website traffic. As the months progressed into the 2000s, Ray began to add to the site with increasing frequency, inserting new text with
Educated people are stupid cowards.
Not a single university has accepted my challenge for a public debate of nature's time cube. They are actually brainwashed, stupid, and decline any public debate for fear of public embarrassment. Physicists forbidden to acknowledge what? Physicists forbidden to acknowledge time cube. Stupid educators always beget stupid graduates. Not one knows of their four-corner metamorphosis.
with new formatting each time. He emphasized the importance
Oh,
of
man.
midday and midnight as, quote, major time points, while also expanding it beyond physics to biology. He declared that, "You are a personified pyramid corner. A human will rotate around 4 corner lifetime stages within a family metamorphosis. Baby, child, parent, and grandparent. Name your 4/16 great-grandparents." Along with these updates, he created many more pages on timecube.com.
Name your 4/16 grandparents? What?
Wait, you'll have 16 grandparents.
How does that make sense, even? I can't even dumb logic that. Okay.
Most of them were simply rehashes of what was said on the main site, but one in particular seems to be answering a direct question. Are you Jewish?
Can I go back and read some of these? Please?
You what?
Yep. I want. Above God. All clock faces are wrong. Greenwich time debunked. Same stupid ass teachers. Corruption of word.
Of what was said on the main site, but one in particular seems to be answering a direct question. Are you Jewish?
Pedantic mind control. The power above God. Public warning. And what he's talking about, are you Jewish? This is
He
interesting.
responded aggressively. I am not Jewish, neither was my mother or father. Anyone saying that Jesus and his Jewish father had something to do with my birth is a damn evil liar. As time went on and his page's view counter ticked into the hundreds of thousands, his writing only grew more fervent and enraged.
No way.
So this is a fucking crazy Southern guy. Obviously, he's atheist and thinks he's smarter than everybody. Kind of like how everyone is nowadays. Like we get a lot of people think, "Oh, I could self-diagnose.
Yep.
I could do all these things. I don't need a college education. I read it on this website."
Yep.
Websites are not always right.
Case in point.
For the next 2 years, Ray continued his attacks against education with vigor, claiming that all educated are stupid from brainwashing and indoctrination, and that educated people are stupid cowards. This sudden surge of hatred was apparently due to the refusal of universities to hold debates about the time cube. He declared that, quote, they are actually brainwashed stupid and decline any public debate for fear of public embarrassment. Physicists forbidden to acknowledge time cube. Stupid educators always beget stupid graduates. Not one knows of their four-corner
We've read that. You know, this kind of thing still goes on today. It's just become more mainstream. People literally call people out and they're like, you're too afraid to debate me. It's like, no, I just don't want to debate stupid. Okay. Yeah. That's interesting.
Metamorphosis. Gene Ray. These new diatribes would appear at the top of the page, bumping his previous sections farther down. Since Ray never deleted any of his previous writing, this meant that all of the updates to the site would still appear in reverse chronological order, gradually elongating the page to massive proportions.
So his first post would be on the bottom.
Yeah.
This also meant that the crux of his argument and his diagrams would appear at the bottom, making the page even more incomprehensible to new readers. These updates generally would
That's
add
great.
little new information to the theory, with Ray opting instead to reword his previous statements about the time cube and to insult religious people and educational institutions. As his anger grew, so did his ego. He proclaimed himself both the greatest thinker and the wisest human, as he was the only one able to comprehend the time cube. He stated that, quote, I am a cubic thinker and far wiser than any god, any scientist, and any educator who preaches the...
I have to say, as far as brand staying on point, he's right on par, man. He hits it every time. He's like,
Does he? Does he? Because the more he talks, the more crazy he sounds.
I mean, he sounds crazy, but he stays like cubic
stays
thinker.
Cubic?
Yeah, his brand is like right there, man. He would be great as an influencer in this day.
The evil
Perfect.
singularity of a single first corner. Gene Ray. He created 2 new sites, thegreatestthinker.com and thewisesthuman.com, to
see,
solidify his point.
it's perfect.
The former simply reiterated more of his theories and opinions,
He's so smart. He uses a background of gray and green text. What a genius.
while the latter only had a link back to timecube.com. Some important factors of his theory became clearer as he posted, such as the importance of the duality of male and female, and his firm belief that the 4 corners of the time cube and human life were representative of one another. He also believed that each person has 4 corners on their head, but exactly what this means is left unclear.
What?
Despite the relative obscurity of the website, it was apparently able to
corners
attract some level of
on the head.
attention. It was featured on
Corner like
prank.net, where it was given the title of Elucid, and it appears that from here it gained traction on forums, where it and sections of it became early memes, such as educated stupid. But to the surprise of internet users eyeing his writing, Ray would be given a platform for his theory, as well as the academic debate which he so dearly desired. Sometime in 1999 and 2000, Jean Ray was interviewed several times by a man named Michael William LeBron, better known by his pseudonym Lionel. These
got a big
interviews
forehead.
took place
Yeah, I was gonna say, dude, is he like the leader?
on the ill-fated internet radio site IATA, which shut down only 2 years after it was created, and as such, the interviews appear to have been lost. However, Lionel had a strong cult following, and he helped spread the word about TimeCube even further. In 2001, Jean Ray conducted another interview with a much lesser-known man named Bruno Connolly. The first 20 minutes were preserved by Connolly on tape and subsequently shared online.
Hello,
Hello, could I speak to Gene Ray, please?
hey Gene Ray.
Hey, Gene. My name's Bruno. I'm calling from San Francisco, California, and I'm doing a little studying on the time cube, and I was wondering if you might have a few minutes to chat with me about it.
Sure.
So maybe if you could just explain.
Much of what he discussed was a rehashing of his website, but it helped to clarify just how closely his philosophy of a 4-stage life cycle correlated with his view of the time cube.
A human is really a quarter or 1 corner. Just in like human metamorphosis, that just like the fingers on your hand, you got the baby, the child, the parent, and grandparent, and you can't be 4 at one time. The baby dies, become the child dies, become the parent dies, become the grandparent. Everything created has a top, bottom, front, back, and 2 sides. The solar system has that. The Earth has that.
He also took the time to clarify his numerology.
Like you had 4 grandparents, and each of them had 4 for like 16. But you don't use 16 because that demeans the value of 4. What you actually have is 4 4s.
Ray's thoughts on religion and his experiences online were also shared.
So what about a concept? I don't want to use the word God, but of some creator, some higher being, et cetera, et cetera. How does that tie into the time cube and the theory of 4s and?
Well, the creation, creator, is not a human form. It's more of a cubic spirit, a cube spirit.
To the best of your knowledge, are you the first person to have discovered the time cube?
Yes, I can't find anything anywhere. They threw me. I used to get on some of the internet scientific and philosophy boards. And they threw me off because I wasn't compromised with them, and so that's the reason I started the time cube.
He claimed that he'd been working on the theory for 20 years.
I've been working on it over 20 years, and I can't find anything yet that contradicts it.
Towards the end of the recording, Ray reiterates his desire for a debate, but partway through his idea, he seems to get distracted.
Lionel show up on that IATA, and it's on these web stations, and he's got a big audience, and like I say, he likes it. And so, hey, let me ask you another question. Did you know your father was a fish?
My father was a fish? No. Please explain.
Well, it's a micro sperm fish. The sperm.
The ease with which Connolly was able to receive an interview with Ray caught the attention of those interested in the time.
Mikey.
Yeah.
He's a fish.
No.
Cube, and it wasn't long before others took advantage of his desperation to share his theory in a form that he could not refuse.
Come up with in this thing, but see what religion does primarily. It is
Sometime in late November of 2001, Gene Ray made an announcement at the top of his website. TimeCube lecture at MIT on January 30th, 2002 from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. in Lecture Hall 10250. Sounded like a train of consciousness, but he kept on using different examples, only repeating the TimeCube has 4 corners aspect. After Ray's description of the TimeCube, the other people at the table had the opportunity to ask him questions. During this period, when Ray would give responses, the crowd would shout wildly in support of him. The questions asked by the panel were mostly attempts to divulge Ray's thought processes. The note-taker writes, Eric Downs asks about people being made of different numbers of parts. Humans are a pyramid with 2 arms and 2 legs, I guess, and each of those has 4 main digits on it for a total of 16. Of course, and this I swear is a direct quote, you don't say 16 because that would demean the value of 4. That got another wild hoot of approval from the lecture hall. Victor Brar asks the next question. Gene says that -1 times -1 equals +1 is stupid and evil, so Victor asks him to explain more. Gene goes off of his previous explanation about the North Pole and the South Pole and various races and explains like this. 1 times 1 equals 1 makes sense because that's like saying that a North American times a North American equals a North American. But saying -1 times -1 equals 1 is like saying a South American times a South American equals a North American. Okay, Gene, so -1 times -1 should equal what? A South American! I stopped writing notes here for about 5 minutes. I was so busy laughing. The audience was also invited to ask questions, and a few glimpses into Ray's life were given. The note-taker writes, a university told him, we'll put you in jail if you send us another fax. Someone asked the question a lot of us must have been wondering. How do you finance your research? Gene beamed proudly and proclaimed, credit cards! Ray also talked about his belief that the 4 corners of his time cube also represented what he perceived as the 4 human races, which were, in his words, whites, blacks, Asians, and Indians. Hoping to get more out of him, one of the audience members probed further, per the note-taker. Delving further into his 4 corners, 4 races point, a student asked how people who aren't in those 4 races fit in. Gene explained that they fit inside the time cube. Duh. The student said, well, I'm biracial, at which point Gene interrupted and said, you're what? Around this point, students gradually began to leave the lecture hall and the debate was adjourned. But this only marked the beginning of Ray's surge into wider cult popularity.
No. So, people, this was like 2001, right?
Yeah.
People have always been trolls.
Yep.
You didn't need the internet for trolls.
No.
You did it in this hall.
Mm-hmm.
Feeding the ego of this dumb Southern guy.
Mm-hmm.
You're what?
Whoever said that.
After this lecture,
Perfect.
word of mouth helped spread knowledge of the existence of the site and of Gene Ray. In particular, 2 groups seemed interested in him, internet users and college students, though there was significant overlap between the 2.
Yeah, no
Over
shit,
time,
of course.
as this interested body would interview him, new information about his life would be teased out. On October 15th, 8.5 months after his debate at MIT, a transcribed interview was published in a student newspaper of Swarthmore College in Pennsylvania. Kate Duffy, the author of the piece entitled Truth is Cubic, wrote a few notes she had learned about him in the introduction. She revealed that Ray was 75 years old and that he had been an electrician. Over the course of his research, he claimed that he had spent approximately $250,000 pursuing the time cube and that he had received death threats from NASA. Duffy also shared that Ray lived in Cummings, Georgia. Her questions were fairly simple, asking about
12.
the basics of the time cube, but he also revealed tidbits about his personal life. He said, quote, my brothers and sisters have some of the highest academic degrees in Alabama, but they don't want to know what I know. He also revealed a bit of information about the email
My brother's sister's really smart. They got degrees, but I'm smarter.
he'd received. Quote, I get email from kids all the time. Some were suspended for looking at my website at school. I get a lot of email from students saying I should be elected president of their student body and that they'd fight the police, but the school threatens to kick them out. Physics majors want a time cube debate at Cornell. He revealed the logic behind his aggressive prose. I had to get nasty on the website because educators refuse to allow students to debate time cube. I can't throw rocks at them, so the only way I can accuse them is in a nasty way. I I have to do this so they'll stop ignoring it.
I
They'd
love
be
his go-to
exposed,
is
all
rocks.
educators. I've sent stuff to Stephen Hawking in England, but they all ignore it. They teach linear time. Time is not linear, it's cubic. Academia
Dude, just the word, like, it's so fucked up.
Yeah.
There's another person, which I'll flag all the way back near the end, that is kind of doing the same thing, but their logic is like worded way better.
Okay.
But I don't think he's like batshit crazy like the Southern guy.
Yeah. Time is cubic. How would you do cubic time?
Dude,
that
thing
way
is,
and this way.
So when you cube something,
way?
you times it by 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. You square is 2, and then cubed is 3. So where'd he get the 4? Why do you times it by 3? Mikey, do you know?
No.
So if you're gonna square something, you're making it square, so it's timesing it by 2, it's makes a square. By 3, you make it 3-dimensional.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. XYZ. That's right.
I'm not smart, but I don't understand time cube.
his conclusions. He stated that, quote, "My wisdom so antiquates known knowledge that a psychiatrist examining my behavior, eccentric by his academic single-corner knowledge, knows no course other than to judge me schizophrenic." This revelation was of little
Or maybe you're just schizophrenic.
surprise to most onlookers, many of whom had speculated that Ray suffered from some sort of mental illness.
No
but this
shit!
didn't stop them from egging him on. Bloating his ego further, Jean Ray was invited to perform a lecture on April 14th, 2005, this one at the Georgia Institute of Technology in Atlanta. It was advertised on the campus with a flyer which included some of Ray's more outlandish quotes, such as, "Life is based upon a perfect math, or your arm would be too short to wipe your butt." A DVD containing footage of both this event and the debate at MIT was
$8.
produced, but the site selling it has since gone down, and nobody who owned a copy appears to have uploaded its contents online.
So
According
sad.
to the website where it was being sold, the lecture was attended by 230 people, though the trailer for the DVD reveals the tone that it took on.
Time cube is in fact a theory of everything. I believe we've come to that conclusion. I would like to know how to apply it in order to get a date.
What none of these onlookers could have suspected, however, was that soon, Jean Ray would acquire his first truly enthusiastic and earnest adherent. On March 7th, 2005, only a month before Jean Ray's lecture in Atlanta, an Australian internet user by the pseudonym Cubehead joined the forum Graveyard of the Gods, designed specifically for atheist discussion. He began enthusiastically promoting Jean Ray's time cube,
That guy looks sane.
Yeah.
mostly repeating the tenets that Ray was espousing on his website with similar rhetoric, while airing interpretations of his own. Intrigued and entertained by Cubehead's posts, they created a special board specifically for Cubehead and Time Cube discussion. Unfortunately, almost all of Cubehead's posts have been lost, as has the initial iteration of his personal website dedicated to Time Cube, named Cubic Awareness Online, which he launched in 2004. However, the second version of the site, released on January 20th, 2006, remains, which expands upon Jean Ray's theories. It contains 3 main sections, the first devoted to the core principles of the time cube, the second to evidence of the time cube in nature, and the third about how the time cube impacts humanity.
Okay. I wish a little spoiler.
Okay.
No one that knows Time Cube is alive still. But I wish I was a professor because I could get $10,000 by saying this. If you're going to use Time Cube for nature, what is this made out of? Straight lines.
Plastic.
Like,
Yeah.
there is no straight lines in nature.
Nope.
None. Not even energy. Energy is in
Nope.
waves.
Yep.
Where's your fucking cube?
All neatly color-coded. Also of note was a section attempting to construct an axiomatic proof of the time cube in 64 cases, as well as a link taking readers back to the time cube board on Graveyard of the Gods. Later that year, he began posting YouTube videos under the name Pyramidors, and he would link to these videos on his website as well. His first video was published on September 3rd, 2006, 9 months after the launch of the Cubic Awareness Online website, but his line delivery and video production led commenters to believe that he was mocking the theory or simply attempting to make campy humor.
They want to know if God exists. The answer, no. They want to know what the real truth is.
I can see how they think he's mocking somebody.
Yes, time cube was discovered by Dr. Gene Ray, who is consequently the greatest thinker and wisest human whom humanity has ever known.
The following day, he published Death of Steve Irwin, He Died, which only supported this belief that he was making a joke out of Gene Ray. In it, he awkwardly transitions from talking about Steve Irwin's death to advocating for the time cube.
During his life, Steve Irwin saved crocodiles and giant Galapagos tortoises. Now that he has died, it's time that we not only save the crocodiles, but also save humanity. We need to use Time Cube in order to save humanity. At the time of his death, Steve Irwin was aged 44. 4 is the supreme number of the universe.
Viewers were appalled by his lack of tact. Responding to the criticism, he edited the About section of the video to read, "This video is respectful. It's not meant to insult Mr. Irwin or those who mourn his death. Please don't flame me or make threats against me. It was not my intent to offend people. Thank you. See website www.cubicao.tk for more TimeCube information." Over the next 2 months, Cubehead would post a total of 8 TimeCube related videos, along with 2 short films utilizing basic 3D animation.
Okay.
The fervor with which Cubehead proselytized the time cube
What
didn't
the
go
hell is
unnoticed by
this?
Gene Ray, and sometime in early 2007, the two apparently opened communication. In February, Cubehead posted an update to the Cubic AO website stating that Ray had personally given him advice. However, the attention from Ray wasn't entirely positive. Sometime in August, Ray added an update to his site which read, "The only official site for Gene Ray /TimeCube."
No
Mikey,
one.
if you have a feeling, you know what's going on here, where, oh no, I'm the only one that can talk about time cube
Ow.
because I made it. As someone that's preaching your values, no, you're doing it wrong because 4 corners.
So beware of associates. No one has my wisdom. In light of this, Cubehead made another addition to the website after consulting him. He wrote a disclaimer displayed in small orange font at the very top of the page, and it appeared that, despite Ray's heartfelt desire to have information on the time cube spread out across the world, he also was quite possessive of it. It read, "Disclaimer, this Cubic AO website doesn't claim to offer any cubic prophecies. This Cubic AO site is a secondary, unofficial site that is subordinate to timecube.com. This Cubic AO site is not intended to be glorified above timecube.com. Scientists don't know what gravity is. They don't know what physics is. We must attack the scientists, academia, and religion, or face cannibalism like Easter Island. Cubic AO is not intended to be more powerful than Dr. Gene Ray's TimeCube site, and indeed, Cubic AO is separate from Dr. Gene Ray's TimeCube site. This Cubic AO site is not intended to contain excessive amounts of artwork." What this last sentence precisely means is unclear. Despite this rebuke, Cubehead would still be granted one of the things he desired most dearly, the opportunity to meet Gene Ray in person, and this encounter would prove to offer more information about him than any other interaction so far.
Okay.
On November 21st, 2007, Cubehead uploaded the first episode of the Dr. Gene Ray TimeCube Experience. This video series would be released piecemeal over the next 2 months in 8 to 10 minute segments due to the video length limitations in place on YouTube at the time.
Hi, I'm Richard Yancharsky, second wisest human. However, it is Dr. Gene Ray, Cubic, who is the wisest human on Earth. I visited Dr. Ray in the USA to discuss with him nature's time cube. While travelling by plane across America, a large storm brewed itself up, and a cubeless conspiracy caused several flights to Atlanta to be cancelled. but I caught a flight the next day, and when I eventually arrived in Dr. Ray's hometown, Dr. Ray drove his car over to pick me up outside the Waffle House.
Yancharsky had arrived on August 2nd, 3.5 months before the video was edited and posted. After Ray asked Yancharsky about his flight and about his age, he was quick to reveal information about himself, speaking of his childhood and his family.
You got brothers and sisters?
No, I have a younger sister. I have one younger sister. Yeah.
I'm in my family. I was one of 14.
All right.
We lived out in the cotton fields, pick cotton and that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I can't relate to you at all.
Yeah.
Okay. If you were Australian and you heard of this time cube thing,
Yeah.
go to America,
Mm-hmm.
go to Georgia,
Yeah.
talk to an old man about his theory of time cube,
Mm-hmm.
you're in danger.
Yeah.
I got two
That was one of the
daughters.
first things I
One of them
thought was,
has a
uh-oh.
son, one has a
I'd be
daughter.
really scared, and I live in
My
Tennessee,
granddaughter just got
so
married,
Yeah.
and my grandson, he has two boys and a girl. So I'm on my fourth corner.
Yeah.
Fourth generation.
Yeah.
The four corners of the pyramid.
Yeah. The four corner life metamorphosis.
Yeah.
Once they arrived at Ray's home, he began to show some of his merchandise and the drawings that he had scanned for timecube.com.
Right. So cubic thought reigns as the highest power. Gene Ray cubic. Yeah. And the back of it says, "I am born cubic, the wisest human and the greatest thinker at www.timecube.com." Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good t-shirt to
By the way, I believe that Cubehead is autistic.
wear.
yeah, well,
It informs people about the time cube.
so this may be a spoiler,
that-
but is he really trolling him?
No.
Okay, because he sounds like he's here and he's like made a huge mistake.
No, I wanted to mention
Yeah.
I think he has some form of, he's on the autistic spectrum
Okay.
because of his line delivery. Everyone thought he was fucking with him.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm not. And like all the
Okay.
videos were like that.
Okay.
He doesn't know line delivery.
That's a flyer, is it? About the $1,000 offer there. Yeah.
Because this is probably be how I would be sounding if I was in the same situation.
All right. Yeah. I think it actually. I think it has that image on maybe on timecube.com somewhere.
See, you can't disprove this. See?
Yeah.
You have 4 different days, like 4 corners of the pyramid. Like you have 4 pads on your hands and feet.
Yeah.
It's 4.
Or what?
I don't. Pads? Did he say pads? I have 5
fingers.
Yeah.
Corners.
Phalanges.
You look at the different type. You got a all-day pyramid. You got a dark pyramid. And then you got the sun-up and sundown pyramid.
Yeah.
See?
These videos would also reveal personal moments, including a visit from his grandchildren.
I don't want to. I'll just tag along.
Okay, Grandpa. I love you.
Are you all doing what?
After this, the two of them went out to a shed where Ray had stored what he called his
Don't
papers
go
and
to the
notes
shed.
relating to the
Don't
time
go to
cube,
the
as
shed.
well as printed copies of his emails from supporters and detractors on the internet.
There's someone. Yeah, I gotta go through all this stuff.
Okay.
This stuff would be better than the notes that Galileo left.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
What was he famous for?
Just the idea that the heliocentric idea that Earth revolves around the sun.
And the sun was the sun of the universe.
Oh yeah.
But you know he was wrong.
Yeah.
Of course he was.
You know what the sun of the universe is?
Me.
He fucking says cube.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have a center. It's composed of opposites.
Well, it's the binary
Oh yeah.
of the sun and the earth.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Which what creates life.
Yeah.
It's just words.
The perpetuity of both going around each other.
No, because
Perpetual
sun
motion.
and the earth are binary. Right? Binary, and that's how you create life. Right, Mikey? Binary. So the center of the universe is sun.
Yeah.
And the time cube of Earth. 16. Well, you can't use 16 because it announces the value of 4.
You got to use 4 4s.
All 4s.
Mm-hmm.
It's the two of them together.
Yeah.
Now the sun has the heat on the outside. It's big like the masculinity.
Yeah, like it's like my balls. You know, 2 of them.
2.
They're humongous.
And
in the inside, they're hollow.
They go around each other. You know, you like that?
And I'm in extreme pain all the time.
Earth is small like a femininity.
Like that woman down the corner. The Earth is cubed like her booty.
It's got the heat inside.
Heat inside.
Yeah.
Like your mama.
After this discussion, Yancharsky sat Ray down to ask basic questions about the time cube, a discussion which was edited down to a total of approximately an hour. Over the course of this interview, Ray slouches farther and farther down his seat as he appears to grow tired and frustrated. Here, Ray reveals a bit more about his theory, showcasing some of his misunderstanding about mathematics and physics.
Even the individual is composed of opposites. You don't have 2 hands, they're opposite hands. And if you put them together, they don't add up to 2. They cancel out because they're like plus and minus.
So, tell me about a cube's 4 corners. Its 4 corners are its vertical edges, correct?
They're what?
Its vertical edges.
Well, it's like a classroom. If a teacher tells you to go stand in a corner, then you only have 4 choices.
That is correct.
They used to put
No, Mikey, because rooms could have more than fucking 4 sides.
Stools there and put a dunce hat on you. But they're on the 4 corners inside of a classroom. And it debunks 3 dimensions. Because there are 4 corner perspective dimensions. 4 different corner perspective dimensions. Not 3. 3 dimensions erroneous math.
Tell me about the 3.2 value of pi.
What?
The 3.20 value of pi.
Pi?
Oh. Well,
that's not 4?
If they use the 96, 4 times 24 is 96. That's the value of the cube. If they use that instead of 100, then the value of pi would be 3.20, which is the perfect pi, 80% of 4. Well, if you're standing in the middle of the road,
he's passing out.
Well, from one side or one pole, things go to the left. On the opposite side, they go to the right. They're totally opposite, plus and minus. If you add them together, they cancel out.
Ray also revealed that he was working on a book with new illustrative diagrams.
And see, that looks like the spider right here. See how the spider? See, these things are going out here and these are going back that way, see? See, it looks like the spider.
Exactly.
See? But now we need to put these in the book. We don't need to put them on the website or something yet. We need to get the book printed with these kind of things on there.
Ray's logic behind the difficult-to-read format of the website was also explained.
Okay,
if you give them a page of small print, they'll read part of it and give it back to you.
Yeah.
And that's the reason they use fine print in contracts, because you don't read it.
Yeah.
So that's reading, the big print is like a billboard.
Yeah.
Once you see it, you have read it.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I use big print.
Yeah.
You don't have to read it.
Yeah.
At one point, Yancharsky joins Ray and some of his friends for lunch, revealing that Ray is at least not entirely isolated from social interaction.
Do those people in there end up accepting the time cube, or do they believe in the religious beliefs too much?
Well, they're mostly religious. They were praying next to it. Most of them are.
Oh, so they're normal.
It's very much religious, Christianity area.
Yeah.
But at the same time, They understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Later in the series, Ray reveals even more about his personal history as the two drive through a thunderstorm.
Tell me about your early life. What was your childhood like as one of 14 children?
Very poor. And we were sitting on the farm, picking cotton, this kind of stuff. See, and the light, and the marbles represent the cells, and the light is the action. And when all the cells are knocked out of the circle, then that, that's death. And then the two spirits pick up their cells and go create new life somewhere else by drawing.
The last episode shows video of Gene Ray being interviewed again by Lionel, where he desperately attempts to explain the time cube.
But the midday like a light race day, sun Asian, midnight to black, sun to Indian. Each the time.
But despite Ray's receptiveness during Yancharsky's stay, things would quickly deteriorate in a catastrophic way.
In the quadrants. Each quadrant rotates its own 24 hours.
Sometime in mid-August, after Yancharsky had returned home to Australia, Ray wrote a short update on his website. CubicAO.tk trashes my site with my data and his erroneous prophecy crap. I denounce CubicAO.tk as harmful to TimeCube and copyright infringement. This message was so important to Ray that he made sure that it was always displayed at the top of his site, even as he made new additions. Despite this negative attention, Yancharsky uploaded the videos anyways, but this rejection from his hero took its toll on his already fragile psyche. On February 13th, 2008, a new user on the Graveyard of the Gods forums by the name of Hanschess made a post. The contents read, "My former student Richard Yancharsky died yesterday. He took his own life. I did an internet search on him and found this forum. I registered so that I could inform you of this. Richard played the violin and benefited a great deal from music. He was a shy student and found it difficult to fit in. He was a gifted computer programmer. I'm sure he brought lively debate and hopefully contributed to stretching people's thinking, even if different from their own ideas. Please give him a thought. Regards, Hans."
Fucking the time you guy fucking bullied the one fan he had to death.
Yeah.
Forumites were understandably dubious, wanting evidence of the death.
Like there's a difference between now don't get me wrong. Cubehead should have got help. Obviously.
Right.
You have suicide thoughts, shouldn't do that. But dude, you have your one fan that is trying to emulate you.
Okay.
All that stuff. And instead of putting your arm around him, to your theory that you're like, this is the thing, this is my life's work. And you just say, no, fuck you. Goddamn, dude. He's insane.
Well, I mean, he literally could be around
Facebook.
that age. People start getting dementia and stuff. I mean, even before that, but he definitely is not okay either.
Yeah, no shit. Cube is 16 parts.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is where are the people that are taking care of him? I mean, he seemed to be okay by himself, but then
but during the interview, he's just passing out.
Yeah, that's
you got two hands, they're the opposite, and you put them together to cancel each other out.
I mean, he's not a good guy, but I don't think he's responsible for that guy committing suicide.
He has some hand on it. I wouldn't say 100%. Maybe less than 50, but still.
User reached out to some of Yancharsky's friends who revealed that he had leapt in.
How about we'll judge him on how he reacts
in front of a train in view of
That's
a
fair.
large crowd. Another.
By the way, he supposedly, just like our boy from Temple OS, used a train.
Friend created an account as well to speak of him. Quote, "To those who knew him in high school, he really disappeared off the radar for a few years until November last year when we ran into him drinking by himself at the pub. Everyone's reaction here was fucked, but not overly surprised. In recent times, he had been slipping into depression, pro-Nazi white supremacy propaganda, and losing focus on goals in life. There was so much more into his life which has more disturbing elements than TimeCube, but now isn't really the best time to go into them. Hans returned one last time to label Jancharsky as, quote, an amazing poet and philosopher, a man with such passion and ideals. He was a tormented soul who was searching for his way in this world. Sadly, he succumbed to the mental disorders that he suffered. Sometime later, his gravestone was discovered, bearing the date of death that Hans had mentioned. The inscription reads, profoundly treasured and loved by his family, our little prince who is at peace now. Unknowing, or perhaps uncaring, Gene Ray continued to update his site. Eventually, he would remove any reference to cubicao.tk, only leaving a message near the top that read, the only official site for Gene Ray/Timecube. Gene Ray is sole authority on harmonic timecube. Collection of raw data on this site will empower the greatest book ever written. That includes Bibles and academic scientific books.
Okay.
Stop evil ad hominemism. But the attention that Gene Ray desired was beginning to peter out. Shortly after the death of Jancharsky, he began complaining about financial issues, stating that unless he received donations, he may have to shut down. His ramblings also became more and more violent and frenzied. In one update, he wrote, Americans are dumb, educated, one stupid, and they worship oneism evil. It is not immoral to kill believers, for the stupid bastards evolve from son or daughter who precedes them. He also created a Twitter account using the handle wisest human, where he made short, angry posts such as, queers killed my little brother, a queer god induces AIDS. This profile would only see use for 6 months after having posted 30 tweets. Years ticked by, and Ray continued his rambling posts.
No, don't go away. Okay. Do you really believe that your Jew god screwed a hole in the ground to create Adam and Eve out of dirt? God lied. He did not create one day. I created 4 days? Okay. Do you realize that a 4-corner square rotating 1/4 turn creates a full circle?
No.
But they were
1/4 turn does not create a full circle.
If scientists can't burn Bible, he is a liar, not scientist.
That's not. No.
Nope.
It doesn't make anything.
Nope.
It has to go to the origin for the thing to make a circle. So that would be a full turn, not a quarter. But if you take take the 4 sides, and then you put the turn, and you take those turns and you add them together, that's a whole circle. I bet you fucking money that's what he thought.
Yeah.
Incomprehensible. One post reads in part, Navel connects 4 corner 4s. God is born of a mother. She left belly B signature. Every priest has Ma sign but lies to honor queers. Belly B proves 4 corners. By this point, Ray had entered his 80s and his mental state was degrading. In May of 2000.
Now, bro, it's been degraded.
2012, Ray made his final update to the site, again proclaiming the conspiracy of standardized time. He would linger for another 3 years, keeping the site going, but inevitably, on March 18th, 2015, he died at the age of 87.
I wonder, 87, do you divide that by 4?
I mean, he was in his 4th cycle, so, you know.
Oh, well, Mikey, do you think do you think his coffin was a cube?
No. I mean, wait. Coffins are cubes.
No, they're rectangles. So it would make him.
But it's a cube because it's hollow.
Later that year, the license on the domain ran out. The site's demise was covered by online publications, including The Verge and Gizmodo, but soon after, the site was brought back up by someone posing as Gene Ray. In early 2017, however, it ran out again, and now the page only displays a blank space. With both advocates for the time cube having passed away, the site only survives on the Wayback Machine and as jokes online. Otis Eugene Ray now serves as a relic of a past era.
Man, doesn't that suck?
Not really.
That your tombstone would be a square, not a cube.
but also as an omen for the way that the internet would soon target people with mental illnesses.
It is a
eccentric
3D object, so
personalities for
technically
the
it is a
sake of
cube.
It's no, you can't turn it around. You can't 4 corners. It's 4 times 16.
He acts as a symbol of some of the powers, opportunities, and dangers of the information age, where the newest celebrities can come from the most unexpected places.
Mr. Ray. Time cube, you know.
Time cube. You see right here, you gotta go from here to here, and then it turns. You don't count this one or this one, but you do. Right here.
I gotta understand,
Right.
Mikey.
What?
Mikey.
What?
Mikey.
What?
The time cube. What you gotta do?
This time cube right here is this doesn't count only 4. Not 6, 4, but it's not 16 because 16 is too many. And
North Pole and South Pole are lies. Mikey.
Yeah, they don't exist. Just pretend they're not there. Just delete them.
No, I won't be able to explain, eclipses, or any of that.
Nothing, because the sun and Earth are.
Well, the sun is actually a manufacture composed with Houdini. So, Mikey, he's not the only one that says some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, Iron Man.
Yes. In the
movie.
books? Oh, yes.
Remember Terrence Howard?
Yes.
Terrence Howard.
Oh, no.
He's been saying some crazy shit. And the weird stuff, it kind of like, oh, I want to believe in it. But when he starts saying 1 times 1 is actually 2, I'm like, you don't get what multiplication means.
No, math is racist.
If you have 1 of something and add and timesing it by 1,
yeah,
there's still 1 in there. But what do I know? Terrence Howard knows more.
Oh no.
And I was going to, and I put my name on them, starring in all these things, and that was my first resume. And sometimes, and as an actor, sometimes I tap into beautiful things. But like with Lucius, and the character I play with Lucius in it, but we know that energy, it is forever. It doesn't die. It continually recycles itself. So you know that you've been a trilobite 350 million years ago, or some part of it. Some parts of you were part of a pterodactyl. Every one of us have been a part of everything in this universe. So if we tap into those things in ourselves and remember those things in ourselves, we have that power. Now, my
very Scientology-esque, but he's not a Scientologist.
vocation has been an actor. And I've loved that. Now, this is one of the oldest symbols.
Calm down, Mikey. I understand that you just got your ass whooped by the time cube. But get ready for the flower of life.
In
oh, no.
human history, right?
No.
Or do you not know? This
I don't
symbol
want to
was
know.
found in the Temple of Osiris in Egypt. And it had.
And the funny thing is, what he's saying right now is true. And it is kind of fucking fascinating.
Okay.
This fucking symbol was in 4 areas
in
the world to civilizations that never touch each other.
Been molecularly burned into the wall. And it's 6,000 years old. This same symbol has been found in the forbidden temples in China, sitting under the fufu dogs. And the foot on it, the flower of life, saying whoever controlled that flower of life controlled the universe. There were secrets in that flower of life that Da Vinci spent his whole life trying to uncover. There were secrets,
which is true,
in that flower of life that Newton spent his whole life in secret trying to uncover.
Hold on. What?
Pythagoras.
No, I'm going to push back on you on this. What's the flower of life?
Desperately trying to
let
uncover.
him explain
but the problem was, they kept seeing.
You can't say it's true then.
This in a 2-dimensional space.
That's the flower of life, Mike.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What were you saying again? Don't you doubt the ex-star of Iron Man.
Shut up.
They couldn't get it out.
Mr. Hustle and Flow himself.
Shut up.
Of this 2-dimensional frame. And as a result, they got stuck in this plane, a flat plane.
And he's a really good speaker. I'm not joking.
No, I mean, yeah.
His voice is like butter.
Now, what Da Vinci and all of them wanted to do, they were trying to find a way to bring this flower to life, because what is inside of it? Well, apparently, there were secrets inside of it. Shapes, they got the Merkaba and all of those other things out of it. But they were misled by something I think called a straight line. You guys
The time cube.
believe in straight lines? You believe there's straight lines in the universe? Well, let me hit you with something. All energy in the universe is expressed in what? It's in motion. If something is still, there's no energy. Kinetic, right? All motion is expressed in what? You look at galaxies, are they expressed in straight lines? Expressed in vortices. All vortices are expressed in what? Waves. All waves are curved. Show me a straight line in nature. You show me where the platonic solids come from. Where do they have their foundations in our universe? Are there any straight lines?
Get to the point.
If you look at anything, there are no straight lines. That's been the mistake. We've been looking at these straight lines, this Euclidean way of thinking, and missing the curvature of nature. So here we are, back with the curvature of nature. And you have all these little pieces. Now, this has always been an information system. So compare some of these points. Take a point here and say, well, what's the space in between all of these things? Now, they've said that all the in-between spaces, if this is the Earth and this is the moon right here, all this in-between space is filled with what? A void. There's nothing in the void. Well, I found that there is something
where he's
in the void.
going.
The elementary fundamental particles that they've been searching for at the CERN collider,
Oh,
the Hadron
no.
Collider in CERN. I found that their energy signatures matched perfectly to some of the pieces that I was able to pull out of here. So I'm gonna bring some of those now. Do I have a minute? Am I good? Okay. Now, all of this was supposed to be on a projector for you guys. I don't have that. So what I do have is a bit of a Chanel bag, or an old Chanel bag, a box, as it were. And we're going to talk about a couple of items in here that are so hard to even express here. Afterwards, y'all going to have to just take a look at these. My God, I won't have the time to do it. I couldn't show you.
Oh, no. I could show you, but I don't have the time. How convenient.
I didn't come here not to show you. Now, whether you guys are able to...
Why are you showing me this stupid crap and you're... Aww.
For a minute then. We're going to do one thing. Everybody got a phone? Put it on the calculator and turn it to the side so you can get all the long numbers out of it.
Oh, you do this at home.
Okay?
Don't
now I
do
want
this
you to
at
put
home,
in
please.
2
Don't do this.
and square root it. 2, hit the square root. You'll get 1.414213562373095 ... right? Now I want you guys to do me a favor. Cube it. It'll see right over there. It'll be x to the 3.
X to the 3.
Can y'all do it? Have you cubed it? It'll see 2.828, 4271, 2174, 6190.
Okay.
Now that makes sense. I want you guys to do me a favor. Divide it by 2. Get that number? Cube it again. Divide it by 2. Cube it again. And I want you to do that until the end of your lives. And that number will still come up with 2.828, 4271, 2174, 6190. Any other number that you, above 2, that you put in and you cube and you square, cube and square and divide by 2, by the 6th operation, it has moved into an exponential number that you can't even imagine. Any number below 2 that you do that same operation with, it will go into an exponentially small matter and number. This is what we call a loop. It is illogical, it doesn't make sense, and it does not make math make sense. So these are some things that I'm bringing to the fore and that I would like to question, I would like to audit.
What's his point?
1 times 1 equals 2.
No.
Do you want to also explain a little bit about what your intention was in sort of bringing this up, and sort of because something you said was the next step is like, how do you apply this?
Well, here we are on this planet. Can I do that point? Our planet is moving away from our sun at 6 inches a year. You guys know that. 15 centimeters a year, our planet is pushing away from the sun. So in less than 500 million years, our planet will be out of the Goldilocks zone. We'll be somewhere near where Mars is, somewhere halfway between there. So life will not be able to be sustained on this planet anymore. So if we're going to be able to sustain ourselves as a species, we have to become interstellar. Not just interplanetary, you have to become interstellar. But with approximations, you cannot become interstellar. You cannot become interstellar with a point that will take you all the way over here with a straight line when the actual event is taking place over here. When you're going 600 quadrillion miles, you can't make a mistake. You need precision. And that's what the math is about. You
know this is all bullshit, right?
What are you talking about? Time cube.
Seriously, you know this is all bullshit, right?
I'm
really afraid that you think that
Mikey,
he is saying something
the flower
that
of life was
is real.
Da Vinci and all that stuff, and what he found in there was the time cube. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh my god. Okay.
Mikey,
hey guys, be sure to go check out our show. Don't listen to what this guy says. Oh my. Okay. Yeah, seriously, go check out the Banana Bear Show. We have a lot more stuff. Kind of like the beginning of this, but not like this. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh, this really went off the rails. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Or it's 16, but you don't use 16 because it denounces 4.
Christian, let the truth subside. No mercy for the furries, ain't no place to hide. Ain't no place to hide.